morning. Shmoney here. And today's video is about Danganronpa. It's just going to be a little quick video about an idea that I had. And yeah, I'm just going to get into it because this is the first time I've spoken today. So my words are not words. So this is this is just a random video just to get me started for the day. So my idea was, like how they had the flashback lights in Danganronpa, and like how in Danganronpa, like it was all just like memory erasing stuff, right? That was like the big twist, because like in the first game they used to be besties, and they didn't know that until the end of the game, and then at the beginning of the second game they found out that they used to be besties. But then there was other stuff that happened during their school time, and that's why chapter 2 was like such a big deal. And then in V3 it was like a show gone wrong. So then like they weren't besties. They weren't even classmates. They were just a bunch of random students, which was like an interesting way to approach that. I never like it. I did that just never tracked with me, because I'm just like Kadaka said it was in like another universe or whatever. But I'm just like, the big thing about Hope's Peak is that it was like an elite exclusive school, and they're just like, yeah, we found 16 different Hope's Peaks across the world and brought these students together. It was like, okay, sure, Jan. Anyways, but what if, for like especially specifically Kaede's case, they used the flashback lights in a way that had them like instead of the implanting memories, that they removed them as well, but it was just sort of a soft removal. And that would make it to where Kaede specifically would forget things that would help her plead her case or lead to evidence to prove that she's innocent. And even if she died thinking that she was a killer, like she did in the original game, it will give another layer, another emotional layer to the class trial later on, especially when all the characters start to recall things and they remember that everyone kind of forgot something. But for Kaede, it was mostly things about her crime, or her attempted crime. And then it would just add another weight to the class trial, because because in the release game, it's just Samugi like scamming behind the scenes and like making sure A, B, and C happens. But there it would add another layer of the whole class themselves not paying attention to details, and sort of having not necessarily guilt, but realizing that they could have had a greater effect on the outcome and maybe have figured out what was really going on. And I think that would have been a nice touch to everything. And like it would have just like, and also would have gave a really nice Easter egg for not only the twist, but just kind of like how things were going with the flashback lights in general. Because honestly, they treated it very cut and dry for like most of the game until Angie destroyed one of them. But then like, even then, they were just like, I don't know, they it was basically like exposition pieces throughout the entire game. So like, I feel like that would have just made it more interesting and made them sort of not immediately trust them as quickly as they did. And like, I mean, like, I know there was doubts with them. That's why like Angie destroyed them or whatever. But like, I guess the weight of the missing information to the new information, like as Kirigiri said in the first game, the risk versus reward benefit was kind of like a vibe for them, so they just kind of went with it anyways, considering their situation. But yeah, I just thought that would be an interesting take on how they could. I thought that was an interesting take on how they could, just apply that. If people like just hypothetically, and since people like to do Danganronpa rewrites and stuff like that, there you go.